Good afternoon and welcome to Tamira Life Journey. This is Tamira. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. If you are already subscribed, thank you for coming back. Today might be a little bit lengthy on this video. It's going to be a video, basically like my first video since I've truly went back to work. But I'm going to take you through, it's pretty much my whole setup from behind the scenes that I didn't really show a lot, but I'm going to show you detailed stuff on how I, go about my budgeting. I like to show everyone how I keep track of my daily expenses. So I have where I carry, because again, I am a Uber driver. So I'm self-employed here. I keep a daily log of everything that I do. So this is something I came up with to track my expenses, my profits, my tips, my promotions that's going on or whatnot. And this one will be from Sunday. Today is Monday, but I'm recording a video for Sunday because I kind of got in really late last night. I try to do at least 12 hours, but sometimes if I don't get started when I like to, because I like to do it early in the daytime so I can be home. I was watching my granddaughter this weekend, my second oldest grandchild this weekend, and so I started late Sunday because I was spending time with her, having fun. And it ran me to early this morning. Not so much because I was trying to get my 12 hours, but they were having a promotion. And that's something I'm gonna talk about in my transportation videos. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started here. No need to hold up any further. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is take you through what I would normally do behind the scenes. So here is my daily spreadsheet. And this is how I keep up with, I color code my expenses and for the day so I can keep a track on my log. So when I go back and do my weekly update, which typically I do those on a Sunday at the end of the week, and this is kind of what this video is. It's like a catch-all, but in the process, you're gonna also see how I go about doing that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So my lease, now when I figure this up, I write it down exactly what I spent, $58.21. But when I actually write it in my budget sheet, I round it up to the nearest whole dollar, because as you see here in my tray, I keep all my change. I don't spend any change whatsoever. And then the change that's left over remaining in my account, I transfer over via a zero challenge to my savings account from my business account. Okay, so I also highlight this here. For gas, yesterday I spent $26 on gas. Well, I know for a fact that I didn't record something over here on the end, because I actually spent, and I do keep all my receipts. This will be my receipts for, I believe this is the receipts from the 15th through the 16th, so from this weekend, since the last time I, wrote personally in my book, even off camera or whatnot. I spent $25 on gas. Now my budget, what I give myself on gas is $50 a day. If I do not spend the $50, whatever's remaining, I put it in my gas portion of my wallet here that I keep with me. So gas is color coded with this. So I spent $26 on gas. plus $25 on gas, which is a total of $51. So yesterday I actually I spent more than I budgeted for my gas. I didn't mean to do that. I really didn't mean to total that because I totaled it at the end. So that was lease. This was gas. My car wash is included up under my business. So for business, I use this one. For a business expense. That's $10 for business. And for today's purposes, it's gonna just be this one because typically I use the purple here for my business, not this one. This one's actually for my bills, but since I've already used it, I'll just go ahead and keep it for this one. Just make sure I write business, not bill. Charity, I gave $5 in charity yesterday. Now charity is this little, now these little highlighters here, I love these highlighters. They're a gel highlighter. So what I was looking for was something different from the normal highlighter. So it's the same colors, but they come off a little bit different because they're gelled. And I recently found out that I wasn't twisting them up when it got low. I thought I had to go buy some more. I was like, hold up, no, I don't. I haven't even begun to tip into using the rest of this. I accidentally did it, y'all, and I figured it out. So I gave $5 for charity. I do write down everything that I do in order to keep up with my spreadsheet. I went and had dinner / lunch at Freddy's. Now, typically when I was off, I wasn't budgeting for eating out because I was home, so I had no need. But now that I'm back on the road, I really still want to try to eat at home and take some snacks with me. But for this particular day, I started so late, I had to actually go get something to eat. That was $9.42 at Freddy's. And then my son, because I was working so late, he said, Mom, could you please just stop at McDonald's and get me something to eat? I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you. I got you. So I spent $8.67 with him on that. So that totaled a total of $18.09 on eating out. After I get my total, after I get finished doing everything, I like to total everything out. So eating out was $18.09, $5 for charity, $10 was for my business, $51 was my gas, $58, $21 is for my lease. And yes, I do have a lease because I'm trying to purchase a vehicle, but I'm leasing one right now. I do like the leasing option because it alleviates you from having any responsibility far as maintenance. It's a little high, but it is a business expense in order for me to make money. So in the process of getting that back on track, but as of right now, I'm having to lease. So $142.30 is my total spent for that day, for Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back over here. And so you get a count of how much I actually spent for today. The next thing I would do is then grab my budgeting book. See that over there? And I will record so I have it broken down for every day of the week on my budgeting sheet. For every day of the week on my budgeting sheet. And I will put put it up just a little bit so you can get a better glimpse of what's going on there. Up there. Okay. Every day, far as this is my wallet. So this records what I spend or what I add to on my wallet every day. But on Sundays, I go back and I do normally sinking funds for Sunday to put money into various mini savings accounts that I'm trying to save money on. Okay, so out of my conscious wallet for Saturday, I ended up with like $28, $15 in cash, $2 in household, and $11 for my plaque, which brings me to my plaque that I be talking about all the time on previous videos. So this is my Treat Myself plaque that I keep on my wall. And basically, if I have any funds, sometimes I take funds from my personal or in my budget if I have an extra few dollars, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to put that at, I'll stick it inside my wallet. And my Treat Myself plaque, when it's filled up, I take it out and I put it in my sinking funds budgeting binder, which you'll see that in a little bit. But here that goes. So this right here has $11 in it. Now I can use those funds for whatever I want, but my goal is try to save it up and you kind of use it as an emergency stash for my wallet outside of miscellaneous. Okay, so to plug in those numbers that we did off of my daily sheet, I do use different pens for that. So for any money I add, I use my green pen. Any money I take away, I use my red. My ending total, I use my purple. And my notes and my starting, I use my regular pen. All right, so put it to the side here. And there's no rhyme or reason how I do all this. Sometimes I'll do all the money I added to it, or all the money I subtract, or whatever I have in my wallet towards the end. But I'm gonna just go straight down my list for my daily sheet and plug those numbers in here. So on my lease, I typically put anything from lease to an actual bill to whatever up under the bills when it comes to the bills category. Now I don't have a bills in my wallet, but I keep up with my daily bill spending. So my lease, my light bills and all that, all will be reflected. It will be added on, but then it'll be taken right back off. So it never will show a rolling number for that. It'll just show you what I did to give an account for the money that I spent. So I spent $58.21. Now on here, I do not record change. So that will get rolled up to $59. So we'll add 59. The next one was my gas. My gas, I spent $51. That is $1 outside of my budget. So I'll go ahead and put 51 on here. My car wash would be up under car wash. I had no money there, so I actually had to put $10 in here because it needed a wash. Because it's been a minute since I fully stuffed my wallet because I was trying to get everything back. Hence the reason why I wasn't really recording he on this end. I was trying to build everything back up while I'm working. I had too many times I was breaking, so it wasn't consistent. So from here on out, prayerfully everything stays consistent. But if it don't, now that I'm showing y'all my whole process, I can still show you and talk about what was going on and you know what happened now, because I'm starting to implement those at this side of it on my videos. I gave $5 for charity. There was no money in charity, so I have to add that. I ate out $18.09 for eat out. There was no money in there, so add $18.09 to that. Which totaled $142 $5.30 basically. But here it'll be a little higher because of the fact I don't put change, I put roundups. So that was $5, $10, $18.09, $51 and $59, which totaled not $142.30 but $143.09. Now, what I took out, okay? So there was no money to begin with, so I took out $5 because that's what I spent. There was no money to begin with, so what I took out was $10 because that's what I spent. There was no money to begin with, so what I took out was, and this, look at me, because I don't put change, y'all. So that was 19. I guess it's because I'm on here recording myself. And I'll go back and check those numbers right there. So I took out $19 because there was no money there. Sometimes I'll write it out, but if it's something I can just write over, I will just write over it. Nothing for entertainment, so negative. You know, I can also go back and put negative there and negative there because I didn't add nothing to either. Gas, so I spent 51, so I spent 51, so I added 51 and I took out 51, so the balance still is the same. Household, I didn't do anything with that, so put a scratch there. Miscellaneous, nothing. Mouse hair, personal, my son's allowance, nothing. Wall plaque was nothing that I took out. My bills, I spent $58.21 on my lease, so I rounded up to 59. In the groceries, I spent nothing, so I took out nothing. All right. So let's get a total for that. 5 plus 10 plus 19 plus 51 plus 59, which is $144, which will be exactly what that is because I made an error. Now, normally on a regular day other than Sundays, whatever this is, I would just put the ending balance over here. But today is Monday, but we're doing for Sunday's date. I have to add my sinking funds. Now, I'm going to do a cash stuffing on here of $223. So that breakdown is going to be my wallet, what I put in my wallet weekly. So I have this little sheet that I made, and I write it in permanent, I write it in permanent marker, and then I just use some acetone to wipe it off because it is laminated. So this shows here what I'm going to put in my wallet. When I went to withdraw it out, I just took this in with me to inside the bank for the ATM. It showed I was taking out $255, even though I'm cashing $223 because I actually, for today, which is Monday, earlier today, I went and treated my daughter to lunch. So that's the difference, is what I spent in our lunch fare at Chick-fil-A. But it gives a breakdown of the dollar amounts that I use. So beauty get 25, that'll be 121.5. I break those down. So according to my wallet breakdown, I had 7 5s, which totaled $35, and 11 20, which totaled to $220, which totaled to a total of $255 that I took out of my account. I don't necessarily do a complete zero-based budget. As you will see when you're looking at my profits on my daily sheet, when I go back to that, I don't do a complete zero base because not only am I running my personal business, I'm also paying I have a budget business expense. I have I'm trying to mix words. I have a business budget expense and I have a personal budget expense that I have to maintain. So I can't take everything from out of my accounts completely. But the money normally comes from my business account. And then I transfer money over sometimes to my personal account if I need to do something online. So it's not 100%, but this is what I needed. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to add what we're putting in our wallets. And that's probably why I shouldn't have did that completely. So that's actually going to show more. So I actually made an error there, which I had made an error anyway. I just didn't think it was gonna be this big. Y'all, I guess I'm still waking up, y'all. From that late night, early morning working I did. And then end up basically, after I got back home from my daughter's house, basically sleeping all day. Now my day's off for today, but I am gonna go out there to try to do a little bit, but I'm not gonna stay out too late. My goal for me working is 12 hours from early in the morning until whatever time early in the morning I start. 12 hours later, I'm done. If something happens and I can't work, then typically I'll start working, but at 6 is my cutoff. So that's my new schedule now, because I'm trying to spend more time with, my family and getting some, and not always working, because people say I'm a bit of a workaholic. Well, and people say, I say too, I am a workaholic, so I have to learn how to not do that so much. Okay, so we're gonna go a little backwards and then move forward. So on beauty, I'm putting $25 in that. So that's 25. In charity, I'm not putting anything. For car wash, I'm putting $20. But I also spent the 10, so that'll be $30. On eating out, I'm putting $30. $30 for eating out. But I also spent 19, so that will be 30 plus 19, which is $49. Entertainment is getting nothing. Gas doesn't get nothing because this is a daily thing. I take that out of my earnings for the day. So I'm not necessarily putting anything in, but I did spend $51. So 51 goes into on my gas. Household is getting 60. Now I did take household and bring it down a little bit. I was doing $75 a week, but now it's going to be $60 a week in this new budget that I'm trying to do. Because I was trying to figure out ways to cut. Because before it was like $420 a week. I was looking to try to cut back expenses. When I wasn't working, I backed it all the way up to like $160. But now that I'm back working, I have to add a little bit more to this budgeting. Because truth be told, I'm gonna spend money. If I'm out, I'm gonna spend. I'm trying to control how much I spend, but I'm definitely gonna spend. Miscellaneous get $20. My son hair gets $20. My personal account gets $50. My son's allowance, he gets $30. My wall plaque, I'm putting in $5. I already know how much I'm putting in because I had a little extra $5 left over from something I was doing. My bills, of course, is $59 because I spent $59. I don't stuff that on a weekly basis. That's just what I spent on bills for that day. And then the groceries won't get anything this week. All right, because I kind of spent a lot on groceries, so we're good for this week. Now I'm gonna take this basically and go all the way down and add what the totals is. So that is, let's see if I can get those in frame so you can see it a little bit. So that is $25, $30, $49, $51, $60, $20, $20, $50, 30, 5, and 59. Now remember, that's showing more than I'm actually stuffing in here because of the expenses that I had. I'll go through that too as well. So that's a total of $3.99. I just like to double check to make sure I didn't miss anything before I write this on my paper. I'm gonna be whiting out again. Call me Miss Whiteout. Yeah, so that's $399. And that came out correct, which was 144 is what I spent for today, which coincide with what I have on my sheet for my expenses. But to add it again, $5, 10, 19, 51, 59, $144. So if we take the $28 that I started out with, add the $399, that'll be a total of $427 that I had in my wallet for expenses. Total at the end of Sunday, once I stuffed my envelopes. And I spent $144. So that leaves me with 200 something's off here, because that should have left me with exactly $144. Let me just go in and make sure. Okay, I see where charity, I forgot to put $5 over here for charity. 10, 19, 30, 51. Okay, so let's see now. 25 plus 5 plus 30 plus 49 plus 51, 60, 20, 20, 50, 30, 5, I'm sorry. Okay, I get what I did, but I did mess up on that. I forgot to do the, I'm like, this ain't adding up. That's because I forgot to do the ending balance. Okay, so let's go over here and do the ending balance on all of this. That's why I like to put these little lines on here to show what I already, if I ain't putting no number in there, I'm putting slashes in there so that way I could see what I done and what I haven't did. Because this happened to me quite often. Okay, so I put $25 in, didn't spend anything. I ended up with 25. Charity, I put in $5. I spent $5, so I have nothing. Car wash, I had nothing. I spent 10, I put in 20, so now I have $20 because 30 subtract 10 is 20. Eating out, I had nothing to start out with. I added $49 to it from my stuffing, 19 from my spending. So that leaves it with $30. Entertainment, there was nothing in there, nothing spent. So of course the balance is nothing. Gas had $15 to start, 51 was added to it, 51 was my expense, so of course that leaves me with 15. Household 2 had $2 in there. I added 60 or going to add 60, so that leaves me with $62. Miscellaneous had nothing. I added 20, so I got 20. Miles here, which is my son, had nothing. I added 20, spent nothing, so I was gonna have 20. My personal had nothing. I added 50. Didn't take anything away, so I'm gonna have 50. Mal hair has 30. Had nothing. Mal allowance has nothing. I'm giving him $30. He gets the whole thing. So it is going to be $30. He's gonna spend all that. There's not gonna be anything on there. Wall plaque had $11. I added 5 on there, so that leaves me with 16. Household bills had nothing. I added 59. Spent 59, leaves nothing. I would always say nothing. Grocery had nothing, added nothing, spent nothing, went in with nothing. So our total will be 25, 20, 30, 15, 62, 20, 25, 20, 30, 15, 62, 20, 20, 50, 16. That's a total of $258 that we should have left. So let's go ahead and check these numbers. That's $28 to start it out with. I added $399, gave me a total of $427. I spent $144, and it leaves me with $283, meaning something is off by $25. So that tells me I forgot to add something. Let me go over this real quick. I'll find it. 25, 20, 30, 15, 62, 20, 20, 50, 16. I never know. 49. I spent 19. That leaves me with $30. I'm inclined to believe it's on the eating out side because I spent 25, but I'll see real quick. $25, 5, 30, 49, 51, 60, 20, 20, 50, 30, 5, 59. I found it. Well, I found something. Because I'm getting a different total here. So 25, because that's how much it'll be. $5, $30, 20, 10, which is 30, take off 10, that's 20. Eating out, 49, 51 for gas. $60, 20, 20, 50, 30, 5, 59, leaves $404. $15 to $11, 28, okay. 5, 10, 19, 51, 'I think it's this. 30, 59. Yes, it is. So that'll be $174. It was my son's allowance. It was throwing everything off. Right. So $28 is where we started. $404 is what we added. We just need $432. Subtract $174. Leaves me with $258. Those numbers add up. Those numbers add up. Okay. So $258 is what I have in my wallet at the end of my stuffing. On Sunday, typically what I would do is I would either roll the money that's left over out of my cash wallet, or I would put it into a sinking fund. So the only thing that I roll is got a lot going on over here. Okay. So the only thing that I roll is my beauty, personal, and charity, which none of them had any money prior to. Beauty, charity, and personal had no money in there prior to me doing this, so nothing gets rolled. In a car wash, if I had anything left over from the previous week prior to me adding the money, I would have put it in my business expense. If anything was in eating out, I would have put it in my savings, challenges. If anything's left over out of entertainment, I would put in my saving challenge. Anything was left out of grocery, go to my debt payoff. Anything was in my household, I would put it in my furniture bill sinking fund. Miles' hair would go in his savings. Miscellaneous would go in my saving challenges. And Mal allowance will always be empty. So the only thing that had a previous balance from the previous week was household, gas, and my wall pack. My wall pack is an automatic roll, even though it doesn't show up on my wallet, because that's something that I do. I just stack it up. So the only two things that I have to deal with at this point is my gas. So the gas goes to my business sinking fund. And the $2 goes to my furniture bill. So in sinking funds, I'm gonna be pulling out $15 and $2, which is a total of $17. Let me put that in red. And then everything else will just stay the same. So it'll reflect basically what I'm stuffing. And really, I should have probably put that over here. Now this part right here is something new that I'm adding to, so I'm learning on this as I go. Because that'll be $60. And I probably want to actually do that in a different color. So I'm gonna do pink for this. Introduce another color. As y'all can see, typically I like to match my borders from my budgeting book with my daily. Now, this was from last week, so that wouldn't match, but starting for today's daily sheet, it'll match my, it'll match going forward. Let me set all that over here. That goes on top of there. All right, so miscellaneous will have 20. Mal hair will have 20. Personal will have 50. Mal allowance will have nothing. $16 will be in my plat. Nothing, nothing. So gas will have nothing, and household will have $60. So let's add those up. 25, 20, 30, 60, 20, 20, 50, 16, which is a total of $241. And if you take out Ooh, that wasn't quite dry. If you take out the $16 for my wall plaque, because that's not figured up, that will give me the $225 that I'll actually be stuffing. Oh, that worked out perfectly. Worked out perfectly. I didn't write it perfectly, but it definitely worked out perfectly. So this will be my for my stuffing. Now I'm gonna come back with another video so I don't keep this one too long and actually do the stuffing on that actual video. But this was just to show you my paperwork on how I record all my documentation for my cash stuffing and my daily. I'm gonna come back here shortly and I'm gonna do another video showing you the actual stuffing. So once again, thank you for stopping by my channel. Thank you if this is your first time. Thank you if you're returning. I really appreciate it. Hit like, share, and subscribe. Y'all have a blessed and prosperous day. Toodles.